No success in the world can compensate for failure in the home. That's why Club Wealth was founded, to help driven, successful, and busy real estate agents like you double their business while building a strong, balanced home life. Join us each week as high-producing agents and team leaders share their stories and unpack the principles and systems they've used to double, triple, and even quadruple their business while enjoying greater quality of life. And now, here's the latest episode of Club Wealth TV.
We're on Facebook Live. We're in several different places. We're on our YouTube channel live. We are on LinkedIn live. And so that being said, we got a great Club Wealth TV episode for you today, folks. We're going to be chatting with Freddie Sahhar and with Coach Christy Lundy. And we're talking about her. There she is. We've got Freddie created a Facebook funnel that's crushing it for him. He's really doing well with it. And so we're going to have him walk us through that funnel. I'm going to be answering your questions live. So if you guys have questions, go to the Facebook page. The place that you want to watch this, if you can, if you haven't already, is facebook.com/groups/Club Wealth. Again, that's facebook.com/groups/Club Wealth. That is the place that we will be responding to your questions live. That being said, if you're also on our YouTube channel, please click the subscribe button. That way, when these things come live, you'll get to see them. All right, before we get started, I want to make sure we do a quick shout out to our sponsor, WiseHire. For those of you that don't already know, WiseHire is a company that we use a lot. Like, we love WiseHire. WiseHire does a lot of our marketing for us, for advertising for candidates, for recruits, whether it's administrative positions or sales positions. I'm seeing Coach Christy nodding her head. I'm assuming you're probably using WiseHire too. Is that right?
Not currently.
You're not?
No,
okay.
No, but I know everyone I know has had great success with it. So we just haven't delved into it yet.
Dude, it's fantastic. You got to rock and roll on it. I love it. We get candidates out of it every week. In fact, we do interviews every Wednesday. I think we hired 2 or 3 people last week. I think it was 2 salespeople and an admin person last week. All of them through WiseHire. So that being said, it's clubwealth.com/WiseHire. clubwealth.com/WiseHire for those of you that are interested in learning more about their service. And with no further ado, let's go ahead and Coach Christy, why don't you tell us a little bit about Freddie, since he's on your team? Why don't you introduce him to us? Tell us what he did, what the results were, and why everybody watching this needs to know how to do this.
Yeah. So Freddie has been on our team for not quite a year yet. He was like a rock star agent, and we were so excited when he joined the Pinamonti Lundy Group, and has just been crushing it, and really helping us build the culture on our team. And look, like I am not on here because I'm techie at all. Like, I am not helping with this live at all. So we're also really grateful because Freddie has helped us to update some of our systems, really helped us with our Facebook marketing, helped with how all the programs connect and all the tech stuff that is not my forte, not Angela's forte. So he created this messenger ad that, the way that we have to target now, a lot of times we get realtors. But anyway, some people saw it and started posting it in other groups. Like, how do you make this ad? Like, this is really great. Like, how do I do this? And so, that's when we sort of started this conversation of, well, why don't we teach people how to do this? So he's been so gracious to share his secrets with us on how he had made this particular funnel and the advertising strategy behind it. So thanks, Freddie.
So let me ask you really quick before you dive into it too deep. So tell us, what did it cost you to do this, and what have the results been?
Yeah, so the cost really can be, I would recommend starting with at least $10 a day, and it can scale from there. But at minimum, $10 a day, and you can run that ad for 2 days to a whole month. I had mine running for about 25 days before I needed to change it up. So it really low cost. I mean, we were generating leads. Max spent $250, and I had a lot of really good conversations in a time where it was a little bit more difficult to have conversations with clients.
So tell us about the cost per lead. Do you know about what your cost per lead was?
Yeah, so I wouldn't generally, I'm going to be focusing in this webinar on the middle of the funnel, the consideration step. So I'm going for full lead info after this step of what we'll be talking about today. What I'm really capturing right now is brand equity and brand awareness. But those leads were as low as $4 for a very long format conversation, all via Facebook Messenger, and very detailed questions from these clients.
Nice.
So and I think that it's important
Awesome.
also to note that the cost per lead, so we're in San Diego, and our cost per lead, we were generating buyer leads at like between $25 and $30 a lead on Facebook. So $4
market's
really,
57.
You know, in any market, I think $4 a lead is pretty good. In San Diego, it's exceptional.
Well, and I was going to say, even at $25 a lead in San Diego, that's not bad. That's still pretty good. And now you're getting way better than that. You're at 4. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, and Facebook released for our benchmarks for last year that cost per lead for real estate was $57. So we're pretty excited with anything under 20.
That's huge. I love it. That's awesome.
I'm really excited for anything under 20.
Yeah, right? I know. Okay, so let's have you dive right in. I want you to go right into it. So take us, and by the way, just touch very briefly on what does the top of the funnel look like, and take us through the whole funnel, but then do your focus point in the middle.
And what's really cool is if this is maybe a little high level, stick watching. And Freddie also, I believe, has something at the end to share that walks you through a more extensive process as well.
And by the way, that information that Christy's referring to, if you guys want to grab that download to get more information after this call, clubwealth.com/Facebook funnel, and you can get the information there. But Freddie, are you able to share now?
I am.
All right, there we go.
Awesome. So yeah, as Michael was saying, I'll kind of give a broad overview. We'll talk a little bit about the funnel that I'm using. It's a really basic funnel. It's only 3 steps. And then we'll hone in on what section of the funnel I'm running this ad in. And then I have a nice deliverable for you guys at the end to go into a couple of topics that I just have to breeze over in this webinar, but give you a little bit more detailed view in a video. But so yeah, as Michael said, my name's Freddie Sahhar. I'm in San Diego with Christy Lundy and Angela Pinamonti at the Pinamonti Lundy Group at Windermere. And let's hop right in. So what we're going to cover today is just a brief overview of the funnel, what ad and audience to use for each step of the funnel, as those will change, how to create the actual Facebook Messenger ad. So I'll give you all a walkthrough of what I do to go ahead and create that ad. And then, like I mentioned, the bonus on how to create Facebook custom and special ad lookalike audiences. So here is just a really general overview of a funnel. We have 3 steps here. A lot of times you'll see this broken down into 5. I like looking at it in 3 steps. So we have awareness, consideration, and conversion. Each step of this funnel, we are going to deliver separate ads, and they're also going to be targeted at unique audiences. So the awareness, this is first-time visitors. These Facebook clients, if you will, may not know who you are. So you want to generate interest, brand awareness, and you want to educate them. We move down to consideration. They know you a little bit better. They've seen your advertisements on Facebook, and they're in their buying process of evaluating brands and products and trying to figure out what to use. And this is when you want to speak directly to the customer. And a lot of times in real estate, this is a phone call on our sales cycle. Why I doubled down on this Facebook Messenger ad is with COVID, especially when it first started, we were getting a little bit more negative reaction on cold calls, expired, circle dialing, and I wanted to keep my conversations high. And this was a great way. Had these ads running 14 hours a day. I mean, realistically, we're realtors. We have our phones on us all the time. I could be in bed and someone would Facebook message me and have a 30-minute conversation with them about when it's a good time for them to buy. And so this was a way to keep those conversations going without making people upset or having a cold call during this time. And then moving down to conversion, and this is what Michael was saying, this is the next step where I actually really truly analyze my cost per lead. On average, these are $6 to $8, but this is where I'm sending them a long form lead form. I want all their information. I want to follow up. I'm letting them know I'm calling them. But let's dive into these funnels a little bit more and what ads I'm delivering so we can kind of show it with you guys. So awareness. So the ad content for awareness. Like I was mentioning, this is the first ad that these clients will see. So they may not know about you. Maybe they've heard about you. Maybe they've seen some of your other stuff, but this is really your first time targeting this group of buyers or sellers. In this section and all these sections, when you're running this ad, I feel it's foolish to run an ad that is for buyers and sellers. They have different needs, and there's going to be different value to each side of the transaction. So focus on either running this ad towards buyers or running this ads towards sellers. On this first ad, I recommend always doing either a video, long format over a minute, or doing a blog. So the goal here is to just give value, not ask for anything. There should be no gate. There should be no requirement, not even an email or first name or last name. We don't want any information. We just want to give you value, free value. The blog needs to be off your website, or on your website, off-site of Facebook, and you need to have the pixel installed. So the goal with these video or blog ads at the top of the funnel is to capture their pixel ID, and so we can remarket to them. Similar to what YLOPO does, but maybe earlier at the funnel right here, and not specifically about properties, more about you and why you're a good realtor and why you can add value.
So Freddie, this is like a jab punch, right? Or jab right hook. Is that?
It is. Right? Yeah, so it really is.
Your jab, and then you come back later with that right hook.
Exactly. You can't just go for the haymaker. You'll be left open and exposed. And also, that's what we do see a lot of realtors do is they go right for the conversion ad, and that's why their leads cost $57 a lead, where $57 we're probably getting 7 or 8 leads rather than just one. So you're very right, Christy. It is a little bit of a 1-2. So if you do the video, that also needs to be native in Facebook, so you can capture their pixel ID. And in the deliverable, I'll go into detail of why you want both of those to be the way that they are. So this is the only ad where your audience is actually going to be detailed targeting. So I'll dive into this when we run through the Facebook ad here in a few minutes. But this is not a custom audience. It's not a lookalike audience. You're not remarketing to your database. You are finding cold leads on Facebook. And so you're targeting them based off of their interests. I recommend trying to get inside of the head of what your average buyer and seller looks like and think what they'd be looking at on Facebook. Target those interests. Chances are that's probably what they'd be looking at and how you'll find their leads. And then the end goal of this ad through those pixel IDs is to create an audience. So everyone who loaded your landing page, not just clicked on your ad. Facebook will register these differently. Someone could accidentally click on your ad, but exit the website before the landing page actually loads. You don't want to remarket to those people. They probably errantly clicked and they're not someone you'd want to waste your advertising budget on. So I recommend doing it to people who load the landing page or watched 50% of the video. And I say 50% because it's very easy to be scrolling Facebook, have something distract you, and then you come back and a video's playing. But it's pretty hard to watch more than half of a video. And so if they're watching on accident, if they're watching half the video, we generally assume that they're engaged. So moving on to consideration, this is the step where we're running the actual ad, the Facebook Messenger ad, and we'll dive really deep into towards the end of this. But your ad content, this is where the Messenger ad would be delivered. This is specific to this funnel. Other funnels won't ask for a conversion until the next step. This is a mini conversion as we're trying to get people to engage with us. They do have to feel comfortable and committed to their process to engage and let us know their first and last name and actually message us. So audience targeted. On the last ad for the awareness section, we were targeting just anyone out there on Facebook, cold leads. But we were able to create an audience from that ad, people who viewed our landing page and read our blog, or people who watched half our video. That's who we're targeting on this ad. So we are targeting people who engaged with our last ad as they will be interested in what we have to, or we assume they'll be interested in what we have to deliver now. Again, we're going for either video views or blog reads for the custom audience based off of what first ad you ran. And we'll dive into this actually on this deliverable video I gave you. There's a little special nugget here. We can actually do lookalike audiences, but they've changed a lot for real estate and have kind of taken away lookalike audiences. But we have a little loophole for you that you'll see at the video at the very end of all this. And then the audience that you create will actually create 2 audiences here. Those who opened up the messenger but never sent us a message. Facebook is very analytical, and we'll actually be able to see if a Facebook pixel ID opened up the messenger ad, but never engaged with us and never actually sent us a message. We can reasonably assume that there's some interest there. And so one of the audiences that we will actually create is people who opened the messenger ad, but never sent us an actual message. And we will resend them this messenger ad continuously until we move them on to that next step of the funnel. And then we'll also remarket those who sent us a message and engaged with us and create that audience. And that's the next step that we'll go ahead and dive into.
So, and then what's cool about this too is, if we're buying ads from a company that's already brought them down the funnel, right? We're spending $150 a lead in our market. And here, this is it takes a little bit longer, right? But we're still getting a higher quality lead at a lower cost. When we're paying $30 to $45 a Facebook lead or whatever, 25 to 33, we're not getting a better quality lead. And so bringing them through the funnel in this way is actually increasing the quality of our lead, and we're paying for less. It is taking a little bit more time investment. We're having to wait a little bit longer for it, but we know Facebook leads need a little bit more nurture time anyway. So this has really actually helped shorten the process, even though it seems to take longer. So,
actually, just to touch on that, why I think it's very valuable to do the legwork for this is when you get a Zillow lead, a realtor lead, even an Op City lead, if that's in your market, they're so far into the funnel, they just want to work with someone who can meet their needs right then and there. I have Facebook leads from listings I had a year ago who are still not ready, but every time I call them, and I've never showed them a property. Every time I call them, though, they know I'm the guy from Facebook. Oh, yeah, I remember clicking that on Facebook. And that's how I've stayed in touch with them. And it's so warm and so easy when I connect with them. Oh, you're the Facebook guy. Yeah, you're the realtor on Facebook. And now 12 months later, I'm working these leads. There's no question in their mind of who they're going to work with. To them, there's only one realtor. It's Freddie. And that's because we've been connected on Facebook for so long, and we've added such low commitment value that when they're ready, they're going to choose us. And that's why I like these leads. It is long-term, but man, there's a lot of cherry picking at the end of the day when you run this for a whole year.
Yeah, but not only that, what I'm loving about it is not only are you increasing, so you're doing several things. You're increasing the size of your funnel, right? You're putting more people in your funnel for a lower cost, and you're getting a higher quality connection with them up front, which means as they come into your funnel, they're much warmer going into your funnel, which means they're going to be a lot easier to nurture over time and a lot higher likelihood to convert down the road. So I love it. I mean, it's really a great process.
Exactly. And you just hit the nail on the head moving into this next step of the funnel, conversion. I'm finding that when I'm running my funnel this way, where I have a mini conversion where it does take some commitment to message me on Facebook, and then I remarket a full lead form, whether that's, hey, register on my IDX website, or here's a CMA of your house, some type of full lead capture form. And I'm sending those to people who message me on Facebook. My cost per lead is half because they already know me. And they're like, oh, it's Freddie again. He has a website too. Oh, wow. Let's search there. So it's a lot of legwork, but it really works out for you in the long run. So the conversion ad. Go ahead.
Actually, let me just stop you right there, Freddie, really quick. I want to ask a question of the audience. If you are using Facebook Messenger as part of your funnel for Facebook leads, type in yes Messenger. I'm really curious, how many of the people watching are already using Messenger as part of their funnel?
I'm very curious to know that as well, actually, to see how much people are utilizing this. But so yeah, in the conversion step, so this is the last step. This is where we want full info, and we want to follow up with phone call and put them in your CRM and speed to lead. So the ad content is going to be a conversion objective, and it's going to have a strong call to action. Push to submit address for CMA, schedule buyer consult. One that's great here is something that looks like a street text ad or a YLOPO ad. That's the zip code, Facebook, you can figure out what zip code they're living in, and you can make audiences based off their zip codes and then feed them just listings in their zip code. But this is where you want them to register on your website and become a full formed lead. And again, this content should be based off of what you've previously been delivering. If you've been running an ad funnel for buyers, don't send them a free CMA for your conversion ad. I don't own a house. Why do I want a CMA? So keep it all in line. The audience targeted here, so you'll have a custom audience made from those who messaged you. And we'll actually go one step further and create the new lookalike audience. And why this step needs a lookalike audience is this is the very end of the funnel. And while that first ad may have been targeting 1.5 million people, by the time we get to this step of the funnel, it could just be a few hundred. And if it's really under, Facebook says under 200, but if it's really under 1,000, I find that your cost per lead is going to be pretty high and the ad's not going to run very well. I will still run the ad to those 1,000 people I generate through the messenger, but I will also make a lookalike audience, which will find 1 million people on Facebook that are only 1% different from the person who registered on my website. And we can, we have some reason to believe that if you're 1% different from that, gentleman or lady, who registered on my Facebook ad looking to buy real estate or sell real estate, that you could be someone who's looking to buy or sell real estate too. And it's a gamble we take. And it usually works out pretty well. The audience created here are leads. So these are people you should have full address, phone number, email. These are people you are calling, on average 9 to 11 times before we get them on the phone. And yeah, at this point, you should have full name, phone, email, and maybe address if they're a seller. And this is a great point to put them into a remarketing engine like Ylopo. I know Chime has some remarketing, something that can remarket to them, because you may not, they're still Facebook leads. You may not convert them on the phone to be ready to see a house on that first phone call. And, let's be honest, not all of us are making 21 phone calls to every lead to make sure they want to buy or, tell us to kick rocks. And so a great way to help if you're not making those 21 phone calls is to stay in front of them with remarketing. So it makes it a little bit easier. And that is the end of the slides. So now for Ready, I want to take you guys all into how to actually make this messenger ad. So I'm going to stop my share right here, switch screens, and then see if I can bring it back up for us all. Before we dive into this, and I can actually do another video on this someday because it is very difficult for some reason, but this is Facebook's Business Manager ads platform. In a past life, I was a Facebook consultant, so I have many different businesses and ad accounts. So these ads are not just for my real estate team. These are ads for clothing companies, mortgage brokers. Business Manager is a great way to allow you to have several different businesses, but a lot of times we use unbranded community pages to run ads, and you'll get more functionality. So I do recommend, if you're running the ads through your Facebook page, take the time. It'll probably take you an hour or so, but set up a Business Manager, connect it to your ads manager, to your Facebook page. It'll be so well worth it. And I can work with Club Wealth. I can probably set up a video and send it over that they could deliver to you guys.
That'd be great.
On how to do that.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
But so basically, this is that back end. We're going to hit create, and this is our ad platform. So the biggest thing to look at and take into consideration here is this new great function here. And that is sarcasm if we can't tell through Zoom. So about a year ago, Facebook created these special ad categories, and it's for businesses that are related to credit, employment, or housing. And we fall in one or two of those, either credit or housing, because we work in conjunction with mortgage brokers. Clicking this severely limits what you can do on Facebook. Not clicking it puts you in jeopardy to get into a lot of trouble and probably some pretty big fines. So you have to click it. If you don't click it, your ad could get pushed through, but it'll get shut down, and you could get your whole Facebook ad account shut down. So I definitely recommend against it. By clicking that, we do lose a lot of functionality, and I'll show you that in a couple steps here, but let's go ahead and dive right in. So as you can see, Facebook even uses my 3 funnel. We got awareness, consideration, and conversion. So this is where you can run your awareness ad, run your consideration ad, and run your conversion ad. And I do recommend, every market's going to be different. I recommend trying to figure out what's going to work best for you. Right now, we're just going to focus on messages, but we can dive into these on another date. So we're in consideration. We're going to go ahead and select the messages ad. If you have a large enough budget, A/B testing is a great way to see what ad is going to run better. I recommend doing it with your piece of content. Try a video versus a picture. I would not recommend selecting campaign budget optimization unless you're going to be spending more than $100 a day. If you're spending less than $100 a day, you don't need to dive into this right here. Naming your ad. If you're going to end up running a lot of ads, it's really important to be organized. I like to use these like tags and leads. So I'm going to say FB Messenger ad. Actually, you can see I've got other names in here. Ask Me Anything campaign. This one was marketed to my lookalike audience. This one wasn't. So this one's just going to be marketed to the custom audience of people who clicked on the buyer blog. So let's say Facebook Messenger. It's a really easy way for you to keep track of what's going on, so you don't have to be scrolling through everything to remember what ad it was, and you can just look at the analytics from a broad overview. So we're going to hit continue and really dive into the ad platform. So we have right here the ad set name. So this is what audience and what budget you're using. So I always will go custom audience, buyer blog. And I like to say $10 per day. So again, I don't have to get into the nitty gritty to know what I'm doing. You can run these ads actually outside of Facebook Messenger now. You can run them on Instagram. I'm not sure if any of you've seen this. It's pretty new, but if you open up your Instagram DMs, there will sometimes be a sponsored direct message in there. That's how this would show up. I haven't had much luck with it yet. Personally, when I get one, I feel like my privacy has been invaded, and I'm like, why are you in my inbox? So I'm not too big on running these yet, but I'll let you guys know if they turn into anything. And you can also run them in WhatsApp. This is actually really, really great, I've seen, for bilingual clients, because WhatsApp is used a lot more frequently for into outside of US communication. And I know some agents who've been running ads on this and have had some great success, but it works like the Messenger ad. So with the Messenger ad, we can do sponsored message or click to Messenger. I always do click to Messenger. Sponsored message would work really great if you have a huge following on your Facebook page. My goal is to eventually be able to do this one day, but I'd recommend not doing this unless you've had at least 10,000 people message your Facebook page. Because what this will do is it will send a message to each person who's ever messaged your Facebook page with your advertisement. So it's really great if you have a lot of people. If you only had a couple hundred, you're going to be spending a lot of money to not get very much. So here we are into the audiences. So on that first ad, the awareness ad that you're going to be running just to a cold audience, this is where you would type in, right down here in your detailed targeting, this is where you would type in things like Zillow. Everyone follows Zillow on Facebook, and if you're following Zillow on Facebook, I can assume you're interested in real estate. But this is the second ad, so we're doing a custom audience. You can see right here, I already have my custom audience made, buyer, video views, COVID. This is just a mock audience. You can see it's only 1,400. I just made a fake video for this webinar. But that's what we would click on, and that would then give us our audience. We would not have to mess with anything else here. The only thing that I do is make sure that I am still targeting San Diego. You don't want to be running these ads all over the US, as we are local real estate agents. Facebook will give you this nifty, and they won't let me make this bigger for you guys, but they give you this nifty little radius circle with minimum 15 miles. For me in San Diego, and this is going to be different for all of you, 33 miles and redropping the pin gets me my whole county. So you're going to want to find out, and a little bit of TJ, but you're going to want to find out what's the best for you and put in your mileage. You want to capture your whole county or any markets you work in. So we have Murrieta, Temecula, and San Clemente. I actually service those markets. So I'll move this pin a little bit over here so I can make sure that I collect everyone. If you are actually using a full-sized audience, I'm just using a fake audience for the sake of the webinar, you'll see your potential conversions here and your potential messages. So even with a fake audience, I'm actually potentially getting 3 to 13 messages per day, which is really great. So now we're going to come down into automatic placements and manual placements. Keep this on automatic. You can go ahead and select manual. I would recommend only selecting manual if you really are comfortable with Facebook advertisements and you're very comfortable with budget optimization. There's a few things you can do in here, and there's a few ads that you can deselect, as sometimes your budget will get sent there and you won't get many leads. But if you're running these for the first 10 times, just keep it at automatic placement. And finally, we're down to budget and schedule. So this is a really important part, and something that as you learn more and you spend more time in Facebook, you'll be able to figure out the best settings for you and your market. I would always recommend that you are optimizing for conversations. We're in the middle of the funnel. Although we always want leads because we're realtors and leads are great, we want more good, healthy conversations, especially in the market we're in right now, than pushy leads. So keep this at conversations. again, goal from all this is just to have some human to human interaction about real estate that's prompted by someone else than yourself. I would not recommend a daily budget unless you're able to have a pretty large budget of at least $40 to $50 per day. I'd recommend a lifetime budget. Start with $10 per day. So if you're going to do $10 a day, this is a 30-day ad right here. You can just drop that down to 300. I wouldn't recommend running the ad for more than 10 days to 2 weeks when you're starting off, as there is ad fatigue and people will start to see the ad more than 2 or 3 times and be like, I already didn't engage with this. Why am I still seeing it? So I would recommend keeping that about 10 to 14 days. And you can just, it's a simple little calendar. You can go ahead and do that and edit that all through here. For these types of ads, you can't change when you get charged, but you can change when it's running. Most ads I'm going to run 24 hours. With these Facebook Messenger ads, I was only running these ads when I could commit to responding to every message within 1 minute. Realistically, it should be 5 seconds. But let's be real, sometimes we're on another lead phone call. Sometimes we're in a Zoom conference on a listing appointment nowadays. But only run these ads when you feel that you can at least respond to them in a minute. For me, I run them from 7 in the morning to 8 p.m. at night because I know I have my phone on me pretty much those hours and I can respond to someone's message at those times. So you can go ahead and edit that. It gives you a nice little scheduler here. So again, I did 7 to 8 every day of the week. If you don't work Sundays, take it off on Sundays. Just make sure that you're only running this on days you're going to be responding, because I can tell you the worst thing for your business is having someone intimately send you a Facebook message about their real estate situation, and then you just to leave them on red for 24 hours. You do that, they're like, man, that guy could be the top agent in my market. I'm not working with them. So we're going to hit continue here. You have all this teed up, and then this is where you're going to get into the content. So choose your identity. You know, I run it as my Facebook page. You can see I have other businesses in here. You can run it as personal pages. But I would recommend running it as your Facebook page, because if you run it as your Facebook page, it'll also actually let you run this on Instagram. And during COVID right now, more people are on Instagram than any other social media except for maybe TikTok. So I would definitely recommend linking to your Instagram. And here we are into the ad content. So ideally, I would have been in my office when I was running this ad. I would have had my ring light up. I would have shot a nice video of me saying, hey, everyone, this is Freddie Sahhar with Windermere Homes Estates and the Pinamonti Lundy Group. I'm sure you have a lot of uncertainty about what's going on in the market today. If you're wondering if it's a good time to buy during COVID, shoot me a Facebook message and ask me anything. You don't have to register. You don't have to give me your information. I just want to be here for you to answer any questions you have. And I'd run something like that. I didn't have that luxury. As you can see, I am working from my bedroom. Actually, during COVID, the office below our office caught on fire and our office smells like a bonfire. So we're working with what we got. If you're in a similar boat, work with what you got. Shoot a video like this if you can. I have my bed right there. I wasn't sending real estate Facebook ads with my bed in the background. So I did a static image, and I'll show you here. You can see the images that I did. I don't think Facebook will let me, let's see, zoom in on them. Let's see. Yeah, so here you can see, let's zoom in on this. Facebook doesn't do the best job of letting you see your ads within here. I think I have one here though. Can you guys see this right here? So this is a virtual home buying thing, and my brokerage actually made this, which was just, I couldn't have done better myself. But I ran a slideshow of slides like this, virtual home buying. And then in Photoshop, you can do it in Canva, you can even do it in Paint. I just did a really simple blue background. I put my headshot in there and I said, ask me anything, real estate related or not, ask me anything. And that was the ad. So it was a slideshow of this, my Windermere Homes and Estates logo, and my face with a thumbs up emoji saying, ask me anything. It was kind of cheesy, but it was something that caught people's eye. And why I'm recommending for you to do a video rather than a static image is, I'm sure you know, it seems like Facebook, it's all videos. Real estate, we hear, do video. Video's the best. It's really true. And Facebook says it's so true that they actually place more weight on video. So if you're running a video ad, you will get a cheaper cost per click, cost per view, anything. If you have the opportunity to do a video, do it. Facebook also considers slideshows videos. So you can just make a video of static images changing every 2 seconds. Because I didn't have time to make a full production video, I did that and made the single images here. This is where you'll then get down into your text and your call to action. So the call to action on this one is very simple. Send a message. In your primary text, you'll be able to see when you have your media in here, Facebook will show you where all these headlines go. Keep it very short and sweet. Mine literally just said, ask me anything real estate related, no registration required. People do have a stigma a little bit of real estate ads. They're going to want my first name, my last name, my email, and my phone number for me to even ask them anything. We even do that if they want to come into our open house. So I like to thwart that out right away and say, hey, look, I'm not asking for anything. I just want to be here to help. And then you run those ads. One thing that I found that it took some time, but helped me out a lot and increased the engagement was I put these prompted messages in. So when someone clicks on the ad and they hit send me a message, it will put these prompted messages. Facebook knows I'm in real estate, so look at these prompted ones it gives me. Can I speak to an agent? Are there new properties available? Make your own. So I actually made my own here, and it says welcome message to COVID. And so it just says something simple like this when they open it up. And it's using my name because it thinks I'm the lead. It says, hi, Fred, I hope you're well. Ask me any real estate questions you have. Below are a few commonly asked questions. And it just says, how has COVID changed our local market? Is it a good time to sell? Is it a good time to buy? Every first message I had was just someone clicking one of those, and that's what started our conversation. It makes it even lower commitment. They don't even have to type anything. The questions they want to ask you are already right there. So think of questions you're hearing from buyers when you're on showings or you're on virtual appointments, and write those questions in there because other people probably have them. Outside of that, make sure that you have your pixel going. Even though this isn't running to our Facebook website, your pixel actually still works within Facebook and gathers a lot of data. And from there, you're ready to hit confirm. Because of COVID, Facebook's ad review times are a little slow. I was seeing usually you could get your ad reviewed in a day. It's taking up to 48 hours right now, so don't be discouraged if your ad doesn't run for 2 or 3 days. But also, don't run this ad 5 hours before you need the ad to be running. Set this up a couple days before you want this ad to be live, because if you want this ad to run on a Monday night and you're making it Monday morning, it's not running till Wednesday at the very least. And that's how you run these Facebook ads that I've been doing. I left a video with all you guys that I think Michael and Club Wealth is going to distribute that will go over those custom audiences and special ad category audiences. But I don't know if there's questions or that was it.
I love too the prompts that you have, because it also gives you, like, you've already got the scripts for that. Most people are going to click. And so you're not going to get something that's really off the wall that you're having to do a bunch of research for. You already know how COVID has impacted the market. You already know if it's a good time to sell or buy, right? Like, you have those stats ready, and it's not, you can start with the broad, get a good conversation going, and they're not coming at you with something super specific that you can't respond to right away.
Exactly. And one thing on that, Facebook actually lets you put in automated responses to those first questions, which I did because it increases your speed to replying. So when someone says, how has COVID changed our market? I have a great vague answer that just gives me more qualifying information. There's been a lot of changes, but a lot has also stayed the same. Is there a zip code of interest? Local stats will probably be more useful to you.
So if one of these
one of the things I like about
surfing, auto response.
Say that one more time, Christy.
Oh, I said, so if one of these came in while you were, say, surfing, auto response takes care of it.
I love it. One of the things I really like about that too, and that I would encourage everybody to use, is that not only do you then have the response to the initial question, you also ask another question at that point. And that's really important, you guys, because you want to make sure that you get the conversation moving forward, get engaging, get them asking questions. So you've given them baby steps, right? The baby step is pick one of these 3 questions. Baby step is, okay, I'm going to respond to you. Then you're going to come up with another question that's going to be your question. And I also love the fact that you can send these, if you've got a large enough audience, you can send these right to their Facebook Messenger as well for people that are already in your warm audience. And you can
very powerful.
Oh yeah.
There's a couple agents I know that have 100,000 Facebook likes, on their pages, and they utilize the message directly to their messenger ad when they have new listings, they have an open house. And I mean, they literally have to have a team of 4 or 5 people fielding the messages because the responses are through the roof. But you don't just get there overnight. You have to do a lot of this type of advertising to build your audience on your Facebook page.
That's huge. That's huge. All right, good stuff. Well, first of all, I'm excited that you came and shared this with us. I'm also excited to have you speak at our Marketing and Technology Summit coming up in July on the 15th and 16th. Very excited about that. So for those of you that didn't get enough for it yet, I'm sure many of you are thinking to yourselves, wow, I really need to see this guy during Marketing and Technology Summit.
That was one of the first questions we got actually on the Facebook Live.
Oh, really?
Is Freddie going to be at the Marketing and Technology Summit?
That's awesome. Well, let's put that. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll even put the link to that in the chat here. It's marketingandtechnologysummit.com. Now, definitely get signed up for Marketing and Technology Summit. It's going to be an awesome event. It's online. It's our next big event that will be held online. And then our following that, of course, in November, we'll have Business Strategy Mastermind Conference. But that being said, Freddie and Coach Christy, anything to add before we wrap up today?
That's really it. If you guys have any questions, this stuff can feel really overwhelming. I'm on Facebook, obviously. Shoot me a Facebook message. I think they left my email and my phone number. Feel free to give me a call. Now more than ever, we have a lot of free time, and I love talking about this stuff. So if you have questions and I can help, or if it's even higher level than this, give me a shout. I'd love to connect and help out how I can.
Yeah, and definitely check out the follow-up video at clubwealth.com/Facebook funnel, I think is what it is. Is that right, Michael?
Facebook funnel. Yep. clubwealth.com/Facebook funnel.
I am not techie, and I went through and I watched that, and after watching this, I really feel confident that I would be able to create this ad, and then the lookalike audience. It immediately elevated my Facebook knowledge. So thanks, Freddie.
No problem. Thanks for having me.